Apple's smart battery cases have been out for over 2 years, since the release of the iPhone 6s. Yet I've never reviewed it, and there's a reason for that. It's because I never thought there was anything interesting I could add to a review, and also I just generally wasn't very interested. That was until I went ahead and bought one anyway, and I was wrong about it. I actually fell in love with it. Let me explain why. Okay, so why did I buy one in the first place? Well, I recently went to stay in London for the weekend, and I forgot to charge my iPhone 7 overnight. When I woke up, I almost had no battery left, and I had to check out the hotel. On my way to the train station though, I realised I had no battery left, and that my ticket reference numbers were stuck on my phone. With an hour or two to spare, I found that I wasn't too far from an Apple store, and I decided to go and pick one up. I bought it, opened it up, and hoped to the gods that it already had some charge on it. Unfortunately, it only had about 4%, so it booted up my phone to give me enough time to get the details I needed off of it. Now though, I've had a few days to properly use the case, and to my surprise, I've actually fallen in love with it. Let's start with the design. I know to look at, it's about as pretty as a car designed by Homer Simpson, I agree, but in terms of actually holding it and using the case, I'm actually really enjoying the way it feels. It adds some much needed extra grip to the phone, which is great if you're especially clumsy with it. Not just the rubberized texture of the case itself, but that hump on the back also helps ergonomically. It makes it much more comfortable to hold over long periods of time without adding much bulk to the whole phone. It doesn't feel particularly bulky thanks to the thinner top and bottom. It's also still slim enough to slip into my jean pockets. It doesn't actually have any LED indicators on the outside of the case at all to let me know whether the case is charging my phone or how much juice is left on the battery case itself, as the case manages battery life and recharges my iPhone as it sees fit. Whilst charging the iPhone separately though, there is an LED indicator inside to let me know it's charging. If I need to see how much juice is left on the case, I can swipe down on the notification centre to see the battery's levels. I also want to talk about cutouts and those speaker grills. On the bottom chin of the case, there are two speaker grills which are facing up. So it's actually turned the downward facing speaker into a forward facing speaker. There's an acoustical port for the speaker channels, so it feeds directly out, therefore making sure the sound isn't muffled. And in my opinion, it actually sounds louder. The microphone is also redirected here too, so there's no issues caused from making phone calls. There's cutouts for the rear camera and mute switch, so they're not affected, and the volume and lock buttons are now covered, but they're still as easy to click as usual. On the bottom there's a repositioned lightning port which charges both the case and iPhone at the same time. While it's not got military levels of protection, it does offer some. It'll protect the screen thanks to the lip around the front, the corners are slightly reinforced, and it'll generally offer some impact protection. Apple probably could have squeezed a 3.5mm headphone adapter into the chin of the case, but personally it doesn't really bother me. I'm not part of the headphone jack army, as if I'm listening to music through earphones, I'll be using my Bluetooth earphones like the Beats X, or on the rare occasion my Lightning AirPods. Finally is the battery life. In there is a 2365mAh battery which claims to deliver 26 hours of talk time, 22 hours of LTE browsing, and 24 hours of video playback, which means it nearly doubles the battery life. In real world use though, what does that mean? Well, whereas my phone's battery would be on about 20% by 3pm, now my phone will still be on 100% by 9pm with the same amount of use. It's really rather strange to see my iPhone's battery still completely full after using it for an entire day. Once the case has been drained, I'll then see my battery percentage begin to drop as normal. I've used other battery cases before and they simply haven't lasted as long. I also prefer having the case charge my phone automatically rather than having to turn the case on when my battery is dying. You may argue that the case is rather pricey, coming in at $99, as there are cheaper options out there. But just as with the popular Juice Pack, which is also at $99, which has about the same battery capacity, so it's not actually that badly priced, especially for an Apple product. If you're interested in buying one, check out Amazon, as I've since found them for less than what I paid. In fact, at the time of this video, you can pick one up for just under $85, which is well worth it. Well, that's it for this video, but let me know in the comment section down below what you think of Apple's iPhone smart battery case. Have you picked one up? Have you tried it? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd be interested to see what you think of it. Also, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and help me out by hitting that like button. I really do appreciate every single one. And don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already, so you don't miss a single video from Cult of Mac. I'll catch you in the next one.